my gosh, I cannot believe this is here. Holy cow, check this out.
Welcome back to Do It on a Dime, in the series where I take you thrifting to make over my entire home and do it on a tiny budget, giving it charm and character. From my whimsy library nook to my William Morris inspired powder room bathroom. I love a $1.50, $1.25 moment, but this video is all about how to get truly high-end items for rock bottom prices, like a $250 mirror for less than $20. I want to empower you to walk into a thrift store, find something secondhand, and make your space look amazing and do it on a budget. So what are we tackling today? This is the landing at the top of our stairs. It was the playroom many years ago. This is kind of our chill out room, and it definitely needed a little love.
It's been a while since I've touched this space, and my husband and I put up molding on the back wall, but this space is a spot where the kids were playing. We have art on the walls that's almost a decade old now, and I wanted to modernize this space and give it some personality. But in order to do that, we have got to sell some stuff. So here's what I sold, and here's how much money I made, because I honestly like to know this information.
Welcome to our first mission. Sell items around my house that I'm not using so I can have some money for the reno. I sold this climber for $75. I love this marble table, but it was way too small for the space. I sold it for $120. I had this storage ottoman in the bonus room for a long time, and it's just kind of ugly, so I ended up selling it for 20 bucks. I sold this mirror for $75, and I made another cool $75 on this console table. And then we had some miscellaneous toys, lots of things that the kids had grown out of, including this climber. And so altogether, I sold it for $215. And that put $580 back into my pocket, so that way I could put it toward the room. Copper wasn't very happy, but I was happy to get started on the makeover. I really wanted to go for high-end design, truly something that will last a lifetime. Anything I purchased in the room, I wanted to be a genuine heirloom piece. And don't worry, I am replacing these pictures in other spots around the house with some more updated ones of where our family is today. This wall was where I wanted to start. Now, I knew I had to repair the molding, and I wanted to put some art on here, but it needed to be big. I had no idea what was in store.
This is from Dollar Tree, and basically this kind of fell down. There's just with like the kids and stuff up here, because this was the playroom for a long time. We got to get this fixed, and I'm going to paint underneath here.
Dollar Tree construction adhesive, Dollar Tree caulk is actually awesome. And as we were fixing this area, I started to dream about what I wanted on this wall. And I started to look through my Pinterest board and realized it was pretty clear. Can you tell from these images exactly what this wall had to be? It didn't need any art, it needed wallpaper. Modern transitional with a bit of chinoiserie influence. We don't have it in the budget to repaint, so I was combining the iron ore color that's on the accent wall with some different murals so I could get a sense of what was going to look the best. Some of them were a bit too feminine, some of them were a bit too loud, and some of them were a bit too bold, until I stumbled across this beautiful chinoiserie floral print. It looked so beautiful with the iron ore. I went with a peel and stick moment, and I only am doing the upper part of the wall to save money.
Talk to me about the mood right now.
We a little bit were worried that I didn't have enough. Every time I do a project like this, like truly friends, like I order something and I'm like, I don't think I ordered the right thing. Or like, what if I ordered the wrong size? Even if I measured like 6 times. I even did that on our wedding day.
Who am I marrying?
No. But I thought, I was like, what if we told the venue the wrong thing? Like, what if actually the venue was like, ooh, we thought it was next weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
yep, that's me. When you know, you know. But I will have you know that on our wedding day, I miraculously showed up on the right day and miraculously picked the right guy, which is probably the most important thing. And miraculously on this day, I picked just the right amount of wallpaper too. And for all the mathing I can't do, I still picked the right guy who 16 years later would hang up wallpaper with me at 9:30 at night. It cuts very simply with a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife. Now, to not spend any more money, I had some leftover iron ore paint from the accent wall, so I added this to the bottom. I would have loved to do this entire wall in a mural, but we didn't have the budget for that. But this, when it was done, I actually think looked even better. Charlie's the best. His support means the world to me.
Wow, that looks really good, hon. Like, wow.
I love it. I love it.
Maybe you're like us and have stained wall-to-wall carpeting. This is where I needed to ground the space with an area rug. Just hear me out.
And rugs, my friend, can be expensive. I found a rug on Facebook Marketplace for $130, and I bartered this down to just $100.
Considering this is a 10 by 14 size and brand new, never used, this is a great price. These retail for hundreds, sometimes thousands. And we have wall-to-wall carpet in this room. Purchasing this rug and laying it over top gives it a really cohesive and unified aesthetic.
Then I headed to the thrift store.
I love Habitat Restore, and I came here looking for a few things on a budget to help ground the space. I knew I needed an ottoman, I knew I was looking for a credenza, and sometimes I just like to go to the thrift store and see what they have, because it might surprise you. I'm looking for vintage, quality, well-made, things that will stand the test of time and are made with love.
One of my favorite things to thrift are coffee tables, end tables, also lighting. And all of them typically range, at least in my area, from like $50 to $75, which for a really quality piece, especially like Bassett, name brand, Pottery Barn, I always come to Habitat for Humanity for some of like the nicer items. I feel like Goodwill gets the stuff that people don't want to have to think about, but Habitat for Humanity, because it's such a good organization, tends to get better items, more quality pieces that are worth your time in coming to select. So consider mixing it up to give it more of a designer high-end look. There's some really good finds.
Always check prices online. This Farah Oval Ottoman retails for $460 and I scored it for $150. I end up layering things anyway, so if it has some stains or discoloration, I don't really mind. Ottomans are at every thrift store, and really you just want to get the scale and proportion right. I knew that my ottoman had to be at least 40 inches, so that way it would really look beautiful in the space.
When it comes to vintage and antique furniture, Habitat Restore is the vibe. They have amazing art here and amazing furniture. I'm gonna see just kind of what they have just to like show you today what we can find secondhand. I mean, this is where you're gonna find the coolest stuff. This was at $375 and then they marked it down to $195. Woo! They got cool stuff down here.
They had lots of furniture in stock, but I was really striking out on what I was looking for. But sometimes the thrift store gives you what you need, not what you think you want.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is here. Holy cow, check this out. This is a gorgeous Anthropologie mirror. Like, I know from looking at Anthropologie's website that this is close to probably a $2,000 mirror, and the shipping of it alone is at least $300. So the fact that this is here, now it does say it has slight damage on the bottom right. This is honestly beautiful. I think it's gonna be so perfect for this room. And I'm like looking at this too. This is a gold base glass coffee table. Okay, this is actually stunning. It is huge, right? So pretty. It's so pretty. I feel like I'm like wagging my tail at it, you know, like, look at you. All right, we're gonna do it.
You have just witnessed the thrift store dopamine rush, getting something for thousands of dollars for a few $100. But I will say, I could not put that mirror next to this credenza. This needed to be replaced, and I wanted to do it on a true budget. So I headed to Facebook Marketplace to see what I could find. The general rule that I have for my house is no more particle board, ever, on anything. So I was looking for a credenza, a sideboard, try typing in different search terms, and also looking for some junky pictures. Like, the worse the picture, sometimes the better the item. I loved this one, but the seller would not respond. That was so high end. This one was beautiful, but a bit above my budget. I also found this Vanguard piece for $300. These retail for thousands, but it wasn't quite right until I stumbled across this incredible chinoiserie piece. It retails for just under $2,000 and the seller was asking just a few $100.
All right, car vlog. Hey! All right, so we have the piece of furniture in the back. This is a beautiful lacquer, like chinoiserie piece that this really sweet woman posted on Marketplace. She posted it and immediately I messaged her. She was so nice. So we had a really nice time picking this up, and like her animals were so cute, and I am really excited to get this in the space. Yay!
My friend, don't be afraid to accept items that are damaged or not exactly perfect. Pretty much everything in my home, especially the nice stuff, has some sort of damage to it or it needs a little extra love. The top of this had some lacquer that was coming off, but I went to my trusty furniture touch-up pens. I keep these on hand for almost all projects. And because it comes in a variety of colors, you can fill in any nicks, dents, or scratches. Don't discount something beautiful because it needs a little bit of extra love. I'm showing you here how well it works on lacquer. You can't even tell once you step back. This piece looked virtually brand new and the quality was incredible. Then I went and styled it with items that I had from my stash, things that I've been collecting over time, an old Bible that was Charlie's grandmother's. This vase was my grandmother's and I thought it would be perfect and it looked so cool with the wallpaper. I had this wool throw and I had this tray on hand and I took items from my home to restyle it to give it gravitas and presence. Of all things, this Dollar Tree pumpkin inspired the fall colors that I incorporated into the space through pillows and things throughout my home. What I'm really learning at this point in my life is skip the particle board pieces. Buy secondhand some quality pieces that will last you the long haul, the forever ones. You can find amazing quality secondhand and you won't regret it. The estimated retail for just the items I bought secondhand would have been over $5,000, and I was able to get it for less than $800. Next mission was to replace the light fixture because I knew replacing the ceiling fan would make a big difference. Not only is Habitat for Humanity great for light fixtures, Facebook Marketplace is too. You can get lots of beautiful glass light fixtures, which is what I was looking for less than $100. I wanted something that would command beautiful presence, but that wouldn't take away from the really ornate mirror. So after some searching, I found some really cool pendant lighting. Lots of them were under $100. I was really looking for a cloud glass aesthetic or something that wouldn't take away from the mural and the beautiful mirror that I selected. If you're looking for new products, here's a similar one for less than $300 that is absolutely awesome.
Charlie's not very happy about this because apparently we have the wrong, like the size of this, this is what happens when you get something on sale. Everything is just like a little bit wrong. So this is too long to be able to fit into the fixture.
Yeah.
And so we're going to try to mask it with a ceiling medallion that I had sitting in my closet and hope that that works.
See.
Oh boy, we'll see.
Can we get a thumbs up for Charlie in the comments? I think we were a little bit worried that we were going to have to hire an electrician to install this just because it was missing some parts. It didn't exactly fit, but the ceiling medallion idea was really working. This fixture retails for close to $1,000, so getting it for a few $100s is a score. And what's more, something like this really makes the space. Now I still have to paint over the medallion on the ceiling, but man, I was so excited to see this coming together. And I just used leftover paint to patch up all of the holes where I used to have all of the kids' climbers. Fortunately, I was still able to stir it up and it was a good match. And this is where the truth was going to come out. Would that mirror look good on this wall? Was it the right choice? But you tell me, what do you think? Was it worth it? Getting this home was a little bit more challenging than I expected, but after I saw this on the wall, I could officially say I'm pretty sure this was my best thrift find ever. This room has had many iterations over the years, but as our kids are growing up, we wanted a room that reflects where our family is right now. But my favorite thing in the whole room is this mirror. It really grounds the space and it doubles the wallpaper, which looks so cool. And lots of the items that I've mixed in here are from Walmart. This little spinny chair is a Drew Barrymore chair that I got at Walmart a few years ago. And the lamp actually came from my son's room, the floor lamp, and that's also from Walmart. And this is a really pretty oyster plate. I fell in love with this. This was my grandmother's and she recently passed away. And so all of us got a couple of things of hers and I love putting it on the wall right here. I love how it picks up on this mural. I love having like really personalized things around the house. And I also incorporated some pictures from our travels. So even though we lost the big pictures on the wall, they're still scattered throughout the room. And over here, this is where my library is. So this is the space that I recently redid and it kind of connects all together. So this sort of peeks out and you can see in the room. And I also love looking from the library out into the grander room. I think the light fixture really ties everything together. It feels cohesive, but also unique and super personal. I love to see how other frugal people invest wisely and curate their home doing it on a budget, getting high-end things for a fraction of the price.
My beautiful friend, if nobody has told you today, guess what? You are enough, more than enough. I'll catch you in the next one.
Sorry about the room. I know that was stressful for you, but it's done now.
It was. Until the next one.
Also true.